Hello, sunshines! Oh my goodness, this video has taken me a few days because I decided to do it on the yucca, which is one of the craziest things I think we have around here. It's the common yucca flower. It's related to the ones you find in the desert, but here we are where it rains all the time. I was like, there's a little gnat. It's okay. Anyways, I was so excited to find them. However, they're used as landscaping plants a lot, and unfortunately, I don't have access or the desire yet to like knock on people's windows and doors to like let me pick their flowers. But that time will come. So unfortunately, I only have access to a few of these flowers and plants at a time. So come with me and like let's discover and enjoy this crazy flower that is in a place that I don't think it belongs, but I'm so happy it's here. Look what I found. Yucca in Virginia.
Here we can see the common yucca's distinctive leathery pointed leaves. These leaves have a distinctive feature with this kind of fraying string or threads coming off the leaves. This is not a trait common found on other species of yucca. The flowering stalk will come up through the middle of the rosette and typically flower between April and June. Here I'm just looking for the freshest, least blemished flowers. They should easily snap off from their little stems.
Well, we are home. Let's look at our goodies today. We have a bunch of yucca flowers. Yay! That's probably finally enough to do what I want with them, so that's exciting. And then I got a small handful of, these are probably blackberries, but they might be dewberries, but they're both rubus species. And then the last little bit of black raspberries. I think. Okay, I wanted to tell you a little bit about storing yucca flowers because, as you know, I only typically harvest a few of anything from each plant I find. So these are from 613. I just simply stored them in a barely airtight container, and they look great. So this is a great way to store them. These are a week old at this point, so those will be great. And then these are just from a couple days ago, stored the same method. A lot of the times I will put a little paper towel in in things to keep moisture off, but I think these flowers actually benefit from having the moisture near them. So there we go. They store for up to a week without any ill repercussions in the fridge in just a jar with just a simple lid on it. So that's exciting. Okay, so now we're gonna process all of these. I'm gonna do 2 different things with them today, but both of them require getting this little section of flower out of the middle. This is the stamen and the pollen and all those things. They can be bitter. So I'm not sure if every culture does this, but I do it because I just feel like I need to. So actually I'll use one of these sturdy ones. So I'm just gonna sit here, and they break off really easily, just right out of the center. You could probably even use a pair of scissors, but I have a long thumbnail, so just clipping it off. And checking them for bugs while you're doing it, because you don't want any of that in your final foods. So yeah, oh, see, there's just like a random little thing in there. So I'll be back once I've de-centered all of these flowers. Okay, I found something fun in this one, and you're bound to find a bunch of these too. So if you look here closely, you can see these teeny weeny little moths. They are white. They are the sole pollinator of the yucca. Isn't that pretty? They're like soft little fluffy white moths. I'm gonna go put him outside. Okay, we are done cleaning them. And I say we because my husband actually helped cut out some of the centers. So that was nice of him. We have 2 piles here. These ones were a little bit softer, whether that means they had just been on the plant a little longer, or maybe they were some of the stored ones, still totally perfect. And then these were the crunchier ones. So since we're doing 2 different preparations today, this works out pretty well. So now for the next, for these softer ones, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna separate these petals a little bit. That's it. We're just gonna pull them all off. They come. I guess I could have done this without cutting the centers off, but I didn't. I just did them all. It also gave me a good excuse to look for bugs and inspect them all. So anyways, we're just gonna pull all of these off, and I will see you in a second. Okay, so I didn't want to spoil the surprise till just now, but with our 2 cups of cleaned, and by cleaned I mean I just rinsed them off really quick and then drained them. So 2 cups of clean petals, some pre-cooked, pre-chopped pokeweed that we foraged. This is a whole video to itself, but it's basically spinach, so you could absolutely substitute normal spinach for this, and a teaspoon of wild field garlic. I don't know if you can tell what we're gonna make, but we're gonna make a wild spinach artichoke dip. And the reason that I think this is gonna work out so well is because yucca flowers have a reminiscent taste of artichoke. And a lot of people like it better. It's very mild, it has a good texture, so I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. So first this is frozen just like your frozen spinach would be. And we're gonna need a 1/2 cup of frozen spinach. And if yours is already thawed, you could actually skip this step. But unfortunately mine is not. So 1/2 cup frozen chopped spinach, or in our case, pokeweed. Into a pan with just a little bit of water. I'm gonna turn that on. I'm gonna get the lid just to steam it for a bit. Okay, once your spinach, or in this case pokeweed, is nice and thawed out, you can see here, it looks exactly like spinach. It's kind of hot. We are gonna add a little bit of ghee or butter or your favorite oil to the pan, just a little bit. Melt that in and add our flowers. Just the petals. These are the ones that we separated. And we're basically just going to wilt these down. And this is a good time to season with salt and pepper. I'm probably going to use about 1/4 teaspoon to start. This is my black pepper, kosher salt, and dried wild field garlic mix. So I use that for just about everything. While this cooks, we're going to set the broiler onto low. Okay, at this point, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of, in this case, it's chopped wild field garlic that I keep in my refrigerator, or my freezer. I chop the stems up and I use those for these kind of applications. We're just going to soften those up, warm them up, and give them a bit of flavor with everything else, so everything mixes around. Okay, at this point, I'm going to turn off the heat and let this cool down just a little bit. Okay, and to this pan, I'm going to do a 1/2 block of cream cheese. So this is 4 ounces of cream cheese that I have softened on the counter. Thought I would just bring you in a little closer. Watch the magic happen. And then to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sour cream and 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Any variety will work. I'm using an avocado mayo. And then at this point, if you feel like you need more salt and pepper, I think this does need a little more. I can add just a smidge. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of parmesan, grated parmesan. Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. At this point, once it's all mixed and delicious looking, you're more than welcome to add a pinch of red pepper flake. I might do that. I have a few of these little dried Tabasco chilies that we grew last year. I think I'm just gonna add the tiniest little bit. I think it kind of cuts through the cream just a smidge. So we're gonna do that. There we go. Nothing crazy, just a pinch. Okay, and now that this is all combined, I am going to scrape this mixture into this cute little oven-safe dish. You're more than welcome to top this with a little bit more Parmesan, but I'm not going to today. There's a lot of goodies already in here. And then we're gonna pop this into the oven. I have my broiler set to low, just for 10 to 20 minutes. It's already warm. We're just maybe trying to get a little bit of crust, try to develop those flavors a little more. And yeah, I'll see you when this is all done and delicious. Okay, while that is baking, we're going to work on our second dish, which was inspired, which was inspired by something we found at the Latino market just down the road from us, and it is preserved vinegar, almost side dish salad like flowers. So we are going to cover these in boiling water and let them sit for 5 minutes just to get them started on their softening journey. Let them sit for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back for the next step. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, and I'm just straining my flowers. I have this really cool colander that fits into my bowl, so it makes it easy. But they're really hot, so next thing we're gonna do is immediately put these into, I have a quart jar. I'm gonna stick these into. The recipe says 2 small onions, so I did 1 medium-sized shallot. And then it also said salt, so I'm gonna do about a half a tablespoon of salt, and I'm gonna top this off with equal parts apple cider vinegar. This is a 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. And then a 1.5 cups of boiling hot water. And there we go. It's kind of a quick pickle. Yucca salad. So I'll put this in the fridge overnight and then I'll try it. And the recipe says it'll stay for about 6 months. So I'll let you know how it is. Spinach artichoke dip, a wild version with poke and yucca and wild field garlic. And then here is the yucca salad. Okay, this is the time, the ultimate test of whether or not you should make this. And mind you, any of these ingredients can be replaced with the more grocery store version of them, but get a good bit. It's really good. I think you should make this. If you have yucca growing anywhere in your neighborhood, you should be knocking on your neighbor's doors and seeing if you can pick them. This is awesome. It actually tastes almost exactly like the less feral version of these ingredients, but oh my goodness. That is a perfect intro dish that you could make for friends and family that you want to like show how you're doing on this foraging journey of yours. So I can't taste this yet because it's too early and it hasn't set at all, but I will definitely give an update on this in a little while. I'm very excited. This is new to me, so we'll try it. And yes, get out there, have fun, and thank you for coming by. This was a fun one, so yeah, I'm just gonna eat all of this.